To set up how an F&I deal will post to accounting, go to Edit, Modify, and then go to Set Up Transfer Transactions, and go to Finance and Finance Account Summary Setup. You can either modify the default settings that are there, which in this example we have New and Use defaults, or you can create a new preset by clicking the New Preset button. Let's modify the New Deal presets. A grid is displayed with every available option and item that is for sale in a deal. Using the slide bar, you can scroll down and see each and every product and government fee. This is a one-time setup, and it defines how a new vehicle sale is going to post to accounting. The unit will actually come from the vehicle inventory. You can put a default unit sale account, cost account, and an inventory credit account on the system. But like we said, if you go to your Add Modify Vehicles settings, you'll see these three account numbers already on the vehicle, which will override the settings that are in this preset for this line only. Next, define where your used trade-ins are going to go. This is just a debit account for the inventory. Then, define where the trade lien payoff is going to go, which is a credit account. And then do the same for all GL accounts that are going to be applied to the different categories and items and products that are going to be sold. You can also determine what is going to be the control number. The control number defines for the detailed transaction who or what is going to track this. For example, when the trade-in comes in and the transaction is created to accounting, you want the stock number to be the main control number coming across. In AR contracts, you may decide that you want the customer number to be the tracking criteria. Other tracking criteria are the deal number, again customer number, a supplier number, the employee number, or the stock number. It is solely at the discretion of the accounting department as to which number they'd want to control that transaction when it comes into the accounting system. To set up your different classification of service, jobs, and parts tickets, go to Edit, Modify, and Set Up Transfers under Parts and Service, where it says Parts and Service Item Types. At the top left, you have a department drop-down, and you can select whether it is parts, service, or body shop. For example, in the service department, we have different types of tickets that we have set up: retail, internal, prep and delivery, factory warranty, and so forth. We can type in our own description of how we want to relate to those ticket types, the labor rate per hour that will be charged if that ticket type has been used, and whether or not the labor and the parts are taxable on that type of job. Click OK to save your changes and exit. To set up how your parts and service tickets will post to accounting, go to Edit, Modify, Set Up Transfer Transactions, Parts and Service, and the Parts and Service categories. Your parts and labor and other items that are sold will be grouped into categories. For example, in your parts department, your parts manager may break his parts down into regular engine parts and then other inventory items such as accessories. When parts are sold on a parts retail ticket, he may want the sale, cost, and inventory accounts to hit a different set of chart of accounts for regular parts versus his accessories, where they may come out of a different sale, cost, and inventory account. When parts are added to your parts inventory system, your parts manager will define a category. That category is then read and matched up with the category here, so that when those parts are sold on a parts retail ticket, it will hit these GL account numbers that have been pre-assigned. If those parts are sold on a parts wholesale ticket, the sale account and cost account will most likely change. And likewise, for all other parts and service ticket types. You also have an inventory receiving adjustment account. There are times that you will receive parts that come in packages. When those packages are disassembled and so the parts can be sold as eaches, the cost of the package does not divide equally into the number of parts within the package. For example, if you bought a package that contained a quantity of 3 and the entire package was $1, each part would break out to be 33 1/3 cents. In order to accommodate for those rounding errors, there is an inventory adjustment account. So those odd cents will post to the inventory adjustment account to make sure that you don't have any fraction of cent rounding errors going over to accounting. Also, as you receive inventory, you will want it to debit the GL account number that you have specified on this category. Next, you will do the same thing for labor. As labor is charged onto a ticket, if that ticket is a service retail, it will hit the specified accounts. On a service internal, different accounts. It is up to your accounting department to define the GL accounts that will apply to the different types of tickets. As you can see with labor, we have 000 as our designated accounts on all parts tickets. If you have rental fees that you charge out on tickets, you can go ahead and create a rental fees and charges category and put the appropriate GL accounts. Likewise with freight, gas, oil and grease, and sublet. If you wish to add your own category, just click the Add button, type in the description, and then you have to pick an internal category. The internal categories are defined in this manner. CR is for core charges. FR is for freight. GO is for gas and oil. LA is for labor. PR is for parts. SL are for sublets. SS is for shop supplies. And LP is for propane gas. Select one of these that identify your external category description. In this case, in our demo, we will call it just a sublet or SL type of demonstration category. If this is going to be your default category so that each time that you add a part it picks up this category, click the default category checkbox. Normally the parts that are entered into the parts inventory are defaulted to a standard parts retail with a PR category. Enter in the description that you want to have displayed on the category screen. And again, enter in any receiving adjustment account or receiving account that you would debit your inventory to. Put the appropriate account numbers that apply to their corresponding ticket types. Click the Save button when you're done, and then hit Exit. To define what type of payment types your dealership will accept, go to Edit, Modify, Set up Transfer Transactions, Parts and Service, and then Add Modify Pay Types. As you can see, the listed pay types that we have set up in the default settings. You'll need to assign the GL account number that corresponds to that payment type. For example, if a customer comes in and pays cash for a part, that cash is going to debit account 1210, which should be your undeposited funds cash clearing account. If you would like to connect your computer system directly to your merchant account for credit card processing, contact Systems 2000. They will install a Payware PC interface that will connect the system directly to the merchant and ties each transaction to the credit card. This is very helpful since it eliminates the need to balance your parts and service and F&I deposits to your credit card receipts. Keep in mind, there is a charge for this Systems 2000 merchant interface. When you set up your chart of accounts, you must define whether the account is an asset, liability, revenue, cost, etc. You can set up your own account types by going to Edit, Modify, and Set up Account Types. Listed here are all the account types that are set up by Systems 2000. If you'd like to add your own, slide the scroll bar to the bottom and just type in the GL account type that you want to add. You'll have to define it as one of the internal account types that we already have set. And then you can choose the color that you want to define that. The color can be used if you decide that at some point in time you would like to print out color profit and loss statements that would go along with the color sequences that have been chosen on the GL account types. The print order defines what order these account numbers will print when you select specific reports. So if you like your revenue, and then your cost, and then your expenses, which is the default, to be reversed, you could change the print order numbers on those account types. If you would like to change the names of some journals, or change some of the properties of how transactions posted in that journal will affect your vehicle inventory, go to Edit, Modify, and Set up Journal Names. In the Journal Name Setup screen, you can define the journal code, you can change the name of the journal, and then you can select how transactions that are posted in that journal will affect the vehicle inventory. For example, here we have Journal A and B, which are new and used vehicle sales. We'll then define them as new and vehicle sales, and that way when trade-ins come in on F&I deals and are posted either to the new or used sale, the system understands that that is a trade-in and posts it appropriately into the inventory. When work is done in the service department, you can define if that work is applied to a unit, what category total will that appear in? On your inventory screen, you have three categories. You have a purchase price total, a total of add-ons and repairs, which are where your internals normally go, and then you have additional costs. As you can see on these service items, we have designated they should go to the vehicle add-ons and repairs. We could have selected vehicle additional costs. Another journal type is whether it is a cash disbursements or cash receipts. And then finally, is it a warranty credit or a vehicle purchases? So you can change the names at will, but you have to tell the computer system how to handle transactions that are going to be posted in that by using these categories. Next, if you want to change the color of your journal, which is displayed at the top of the screen each time that you open a journal, just click the Choose Color and change it to the color that you desire. The expansion icon to the left-hand side of the code allows you to type in a company number and a starting reference number. This option here allows you to set up auto numbering on your journal entry. Quite common, especially on the general journal, to set that up with an auto numbering. And you set that by company. So in this case here, we have company 1. The next reference number, if we were to create a transaction in the Z1 General Journal, would be 90020. That will automatically increment as we add transactions. When setting up your chart of accounts, you can define default profit centers for each account. Not only can you set up default profit centers for each account, you can override those profit centers when you're posting transactions. To set up what profit centers will be allowed to be selected on the chart of accounts and on transactions that are posted, go to Edit, Modify, and set up profit centers. In our example here, we have profit centers A, B, C, and D. You can type in 01 if you like, or even spell out a location. If you want to add a new profit center, just click down on the gray line. It is the add line because there is a star to the left in the record selector. Just type in the new location that you want. and click OK to save it. If you want to delete a record, just click and highlight the record selector to the left and hit the delete key on your keyboard, and the system will prompt you to confirm that you truly want to delete the record. When you're done, just hit the OK button or Close button to save your changes and close the form. When setting up your chart of accounts, you can also set a default department. That department can also be changed when you're posting individual transactions. To define what those departments can be, go to Edit, Modify, and Set Up Departments. In this example, we have the Service, Finance, Parts, Used, New, Payroll, and Accounting. To add a new one, just click on the Add line and type in your new department. To delete a department, click the record selector to the left-hand side and highlight the item you wish to delete. Hit the Delete button on your keyboard. The system will display a prompt asking you if you're sure that you wish to delete that record. Click Yes if you want to continue to delete. When you're done, to save your changes, click the OK button. To close and exit without saving, click the Close button. In this case, we will click OK, save our changes, close the form. If you'd like to print departmentalized daily operating control reports, you'll need to set up what is called the corresponding account numbers. Go to Edit, Modify, and set up corresponding account numbers. On this screen, you will define which account numbers are your sale accounts and what are their associated cost of sale accounts. Under the left-hand column of the sale account will be every revenue account that you have in the system. For those accounts that you want to appear on your daily operating control, type in a corresponding cost account. This is used for when the computer wants to print out your total revenue minus your total cost of sales to give you a gross profit. It uses this file to determine that $4,400 is the cost of sale account for $3,400.